Years pass. Those who are nice to you, eventually over time, given power, those niceness, the kindness, the purity of their hearts at such a young age becomes dark and twisted. Only then when you see someone's true colors. This is the story of many things. I've waited years to do this. The amount of pain the hero society has put me through is unmatched. So I decided to end it all. Hello everyone. Welcome to what if Deku had almighty push. Or heavenly pull and heavenly push, practically. Or was it just what if Deku was pain in general? But I mean, yeah. Deku, unlike other what ifs, how they just have him have all of his abilities, this one will be more unique, you would say. Many things will happen, including the abilities of pain. The thing is, Deku himself will not be pain, but Deku would have the main ability of pain. Heavenly push or heavenly pull. Geto Tensei, practically. Geto Tensei. Which is a very overpowered ability on its own. How would Deku get this? I mean, not by, honestly, the beginning of the anime doesn't really change. I mean, yes, he would technically be seen as quirkless, but things will happen. A lot of things. So in the beginning of the story, we go to All For One and Hisashi Midoriya. Hisashi was very, how would you say, not like a Zetsu, but more of a follower of All For One. What would have happened is that, as some theories in My Hero represent, Hisashi would have asked, or kind of for his own life, All For One would try to, let's say Hisashi or All For One saved his life at one point, and All For One wanted payment with quirks. Hisashi wanted to keep his quirk, so he told All For One, give me a couple years, I will give you a quirk, my child's quirk. As practically, you know where I'm going with this, so yeah. Technically, I guess. So yeah. Deku. The thing was about Deku's body, with the, what Inko has. Deku would be given the Wind Bullet quirk. Or technically be seen as his so-called quirk. Which, All For One will be given it after, Hisashi, kind of, it's time, you can have, my son's quirk. So Deku, before anything can happen, All For One kind of dipped in and out of, the hospital, kind of, teleported in. Took the quirk before anyone could notice, and then dipped out. So yeah. As Deku would be starting off quirkless. Seen as... But the thing is, when All For One ripped the quirk from him, something within Deku himself grew, or was lost. A portion of... as if something was missing. Hollow, almost. Deku due to this event, Deku, at some point in his life, will kind of have those points where he thinks about all negativity in points of his life. Like, not, all the time, like an emo person would, but certain points, like, he will, like, out of nowhere, like, at random moments, he will just kind of doze off and have all these negative emotions kind of, or memories, kind of just explode from his head. Off the bat, Deku, yes, his doctor will still be the same, but he would be the difference. When Deku is about, I'll say, like 2 years younger, they go for his quirk examination. Deku, I say the Project 9 was halfway in completion by now. And what would have happened is Dr. Ochiko thought of a way. What if 9 came back and, succeeded his task and kind of, came back to kill him? So he kind of made a counteraction. But this time, something that he can control. Or, just in case All For One, his master, loses or, kind of plan fails, Dr. Ochiko has a new master to kind of, I guess, be under. And this would be the birth or Project Akatsuki. Without All For One's knowing, of course, without him knowing or any person knowing in matter. It'll be a private project. They needed to find a person who had enough things, you would say. Enough, how do you say, emotion to go around, to complete the ability. A lot of the experiments would either die or more lines of get torn apart by this ability. So he stopped looking for a while. And eventually he met Deku. Deku at this point is a very happy person. Of course, none of his depression kicked in. Or, none of his bad memories of this time would have, occurred. So that, dozing off wouldn't appear just yet. But will come soon. Deku, in the span of a couple weeks, will visit Dr. Ochiko. Dr. Ochiko will see something different about Deku compared to everyone else. He would see that Deku, his body is adapted to something that has already been taken away. As if you know what I'm talking about the Gero Tensei, or, in the comics, I believe, or manga, Pain has these things on, his palm, which technically are there for two reasons. One, my push, and second for, the chakra rods, or pain rods. So, yeah. No, I'm not giving him the pain rods yet, but I may or may not give him it, depending. So, what happens? This quirk, specifically created by Ochiko. What was it? Not a normal quirk, but a made quirk. Kind of like artificial quirk, you would say. It cannot be taken away, stripped away, or anything like that. Once bonded with the host, will permanently be with the host until, the end of time. So, yeah. Or until their death. Even so, you still can't take away the quirk. This quirk will be it was supposed to be made for, 9. But due to, some testing, Dr. Ochiko found out that 9 wouldn't be able to take the quirk. Due to, 9 isn't yet complete at this point. So he just decided to build upon the quirk. Change it to the point where the holder has great potential. Yes, we'll start off very weak, but with enough growth can do dramatic changes. What I mean by that, he made a limitless quirk. Or artificial quirk. A quirk that has no limits. As long as you train the quirk, it has no limits. And it has no downfalls. Of course, besides the bones. Technically, Geto Tensei, like Bakugo's quirk, it does kind of hurt, or, it doesn't just hurt his bones, but it also kind of, makes you go flying. Like, yes, it's kind of like if you don't hold a gun properly, like a shotgun, you kind of get flown back. Kind of like a pushback almost. But except with this quirk, when you get pushed back, you get pushed back like miles. Yeah, it's pretty, you gotta be pretty heavy and pretty powerful bones to control this quirk. Deku's quirk before he was taken away was built for, wind and whatnot. Was just built for, taking in wind and just using it practically like the Avatar. Or something similar to the Avatar. So, why not choose someone that was already built for the quirk? All you have to do is build upon them to make the perfect host for the quirk. So after meeting this kid, he would realize this child has, even if the child is 3, pretty flippin' strong. Deku would have the strength to be able to lift a chair, an entire metal chair, as a 3-year-old. Pretty strong. That'd be like his limits, though. He wouldn't be able to do anything else. That's his limit right there. At least as a child. Which surprises Dr. Ochiko, because usually 3-year-olds wouldn't be able, Also, this is one-handed. Deku can pick up a metal chair one-handedly. Which Dr. Ochiko was surprised. So he decided to kind of tag, his mother. Your boy, yes, he may be quirkless, but I see potential in your boy, young Inko. I see that you'd be a very great hero, as long as he has his mindsets to it. Instead of, you're instead of, in canon, you're not gonna be my hero, good luck. So, yeah, kind of like that, just, yeah. As, over the years, Ochiko would have a copy, a very watered down version of All For One. It would but this All For One itself would only be able to hold 3 quirks. So, if you know where I'm going with this, yeah. Well, Dr. Ochiko goes to kind of, pet Izuku on the head. Hopefully you become a very great hero, young one. He gives, Deku the quirk. And, yeah, let's say, the tubes or, stuff in Deku's body that's already there that was built for a wind quirk. Not gonna lie, not a great explosion, but, air, kind of, just a little blast. Not enough to notice, but, there's a little blast of wind coming out from Deku as Deku breathes in. And there's just, a blast of air. Not to the point where people can, immediately notice. But, just enough to kind of, if you're smart enough, you can notice. And yeah, Deku would also kind of, he would feel different after, he would give a smile to, the doctor. Because, the doctor didn't flip and just go and just say, yeah, you ain't becoming a hero. Actually, helping the young one. So, yes. Inko, on the other hand, would still say the same thing. I'm sorry, my poor boy. And, I'm sorry instead of, yes, you can become a hero. So, yeah. That still doesn't change. That doesn't change at all. Deku, well, he would feel conflicted. Yes, unlike, he wouldn't feel the same pain, or technically even worse pain. How a random person, as the doctor, says he can become a hero, but his mother doesn't. Feels conflicted. Which, to a 3-year-old, yes, he is still 3, would technically be even more, conflicted than, what his 5-year counterpart would be. And this is where he starts to gain, that mentality. Or, just an inference of it. Like, not full-on emo, but, just an inference of it. They would, visit the doctor a couple times. The doctor, the quirks he does have for the young one would be 2 other quirks, but they wouldn't be unnoticeable. That's why he hasn't, given Deku them. Because, they'll take immediate effect as soon as they enter Deku's body. And now we hit 4. As, at the age of 2, or technically Deku and Bakugo would know each other since birth. But, yeah. The age of 4 now. Bakugo Akatsuki, I'm gonna say, is, same things. Deku, he was given the quirk, like, after, of course, after, Inko, because, let's say, the doctor wanted, private time with Deku. Just wanted to do, little exams, seeing how the quirk, the air quirk, the Ochiko gave him. He's like, okay, it looks like it's going through his body quite well. Very well. I wonder if your body will be able to take this, then. As he gives Deku another quirk, which, yes, does perform inside Deku's body immediately, causing effect, but not physical effects yet, of course. As Deku's body grows, the quirk will grow with it, because it's kind of more of a bone-ish quirk, because I guess the chakra rods are, technically bones, or it's technically made of pure chakra, but due to chakra not existing in this reality, they'll be made out of bones. It's just with a slight, effect to them. If you get stabbed by them, you kind of, you kind of ask for, like, trauma to happen to you. That's what I gotta say. PTSD, yeah. That's practically what the chakras are. You get stabbed by them, you get PTSD from, like, your worst fears. Deku is 5. Everyone's getting their quirks. And this is where it happens. The day everything changes to Deku. Everything. Bakugo going his, oh, my quirk is going to be the strongest out of you, Deku. And whatnot. Practically putting Deku under his shoe, practically. But far does Bakugo know he technically doesn't have a quirk. Yes, I guess it is a quirk, but it's a made quirk. So, you can't really, even, artificial quirk. So, you can't really be taken away and technically counts as a quirk since, it has the same. It's complicated. Like, artificial speed force. Yeah, practically. But, it's artificial quirk. Yeah. Bakugo gonna find out real quick why you don't mess with pain. Pun intended. So the age of 5, I'll say, it's kind of like a bring your parent to school day or something, or just like a, I guess a talent show. Everyone's there. Everyone, it hasn't started yet, but everyone's outside talking about their awesome quirks. As Bakugo's, on his BS. Also, if you're wondering what Deku's quirk he got, Deku got his 3rd quirk, a while back. Meaning that he's fully pain. Except, the jutsus, of course. I mean, he is able to do some jutsus, but, the one that come with, the Rinnegan. The Rinnegan was more of a... Not gonna lie. I'll say when it happened, Deku was taking a shower. And kind of... soap was in his eyes. So he kind of, went to go wash his, face. As eyeballs. I'll say the quirk kind of, gives you 2 extra eyeballs. So kind of, replacing his new, his old eyeballs with, the Rinnegan. So yeah. His eyeballs kind of fell out. And then, kind of turned to dust as, immediately the Rinnegan will, take its place. Either that or, the Rinnegan will kind of, just... Deku's eyes will just transform into the Rinnegan. So Deku, at a very young age, Deku would feel things that he's not supposed to yet. He would feel the emotions of others, the true colors of others. He will be able to see the emotions. Each emotion to a person has their own color. Pain, I'll say, would either be purple or black. Anger would be red, as kind of like an inside-out color thing, palette. So just think of that. So Deku's able to see everyone's, personality and whatnot, or feelings, or emotions at that time. This also changed Deku's mentality a lot. Over time, Deku would see, the Hero Association. He would see that they create their own villains. And, this would technically not just be a canon fact, but, a fact in general out of My Hero. Canonly or not, it would still be a fact. Yeah. Proof, Dabi. Toyotoroki. 2nd, Shigaraki Tomara. 3rd, Himiko Toga. All were disabled. Not disabled, but they were all casted out of society in canon. And became villains due to heroes not helping them. Meaning that, yes, it is true. My Hero Academia does make its own villains. Or UA, or Hero Society in the My Hero does make its own villains. And technically, if you think about it, if you started off with All For One's point, he only wanted to help people, but his brother got in the way. Which, practically like a Madara, almost-esque fashion. He's not evil nor good. He just wants, to kind of show people, how, if you want something or, you want to be normal or something, you just want to change, you go for All For One and whatnot. So yeah. All For One would practically be the equivalent to Madara. And I guess All Might would be like the equivalent of like the Yellow Flash and Hashirama. And Deku would be like the equivalent Pain. But like an OD'd version of Pain. You'll figure out what that means later. Deku, he would see things. He would still be the, the canon, funny person. But, when people actually start bullying him, that's when everything changes. Or when Deku's personality changes. As now we go to, a fight. Or, when Bakugo's trying to pick on someone. Instead of, the location you'll be, you'll be in the school courtyards, before the talent show. What happens is that they're picking on this dude or kid. I guess the parents will be like inside, talking to the teachers about stuff. As there, there's a window, in the courtyard, just as to watch the kids. No parent or anything or teacher just notices, oh, there's someone bullying someone else now. They don't notice that. What they do notice is what's about to happen. When when Deku kind of gets in the way, gets beat up, and then, the dude kind of walks away from, Deku after, not even saying thank you. This conflicts Deku. Even if I do the right thing, I will not be seen as a hero. No one will notice me, even if I do the right thing. There is no purpose. But what must be done must be done. I'm tired of being bullied. I'm tired of everything. As a air blast, or more of a, think of like a transformation, Super Saiyan transformation, but, nothing really actually happening. Just, Deku, kind of like a dramatic increase in kind of spiritual pressure. How, people just feel the power going, in a certain direction. So Bakugo feels, this immense, I guess, to Bakugo, it would be kind of like feel like he's being challenged. As he looks behind and he sees Deku with his eyes now changed permanently. Enough. As all Deku does is put his hands in front of him. As people notice, the windows are broken by now. This isn't, a small blast either. This is the flipping huge blast. Deku, he let his, presence be known by, everyone. He stopped holding back. Nah, bro. Y'all want to beat upon me? Not even, y'all think I'm quirkless and a monster? Fine, I'll be a monster. Yeet! Just full on. Everyone knew something was about to happen if they didn't stop this, so. Inko tried to protect, Bakugo. Ended up getting caught in the, crossfire. She went flying. Not just flying, but kind of got torn up by the wind. So, kind of a puddle of mush. Midair became a puddle of mush. Cops are called. Everyone's called. Deku's kind of this shouldn't have happened. Why am I always disciplined after I make the right moves? The society is so corrupt. It does not have the guts to do what must be necessary. As all emotion from Deku's eyes fade, and the chakra rods, the piercings or something on Pain's body would start appearing on Deku. His ears, his nose. Yeah, that type of stuff. As Deku's contained. Orphanage. Like usual. The only difference with this is that this doesn't end up well. What do I mean? It's like the worst flippin' orphanage you can think of, times 1,000,000. And yeah, if you know Pain's abilities, you know what's about to happen to Orphanage. Orphanage go bye-bye with one blast. Bye-bye, everyone dead. Just 50 people dead. No, it'd be like a decent sized video. So it'd be like a 50, 50 dead. Right on there. Deku was like, nah, bro, I haven't did the BS. Yeet. Ghetto Tensei, just obliterate everyone. With, like, air. Oh, and trust me, Deku's not going to be the only one who's going to be able to do this. Also, Deku's hair also not changes, but for reasoning, after, you know, he kind of killed, you know, Orphanage, Dr. Ochiko kind of like, hey, kid, you need a ride? I got you. Deku was on, you know, the hinge. But this is like, cops are coming. It's best if I go with you. So, you know, goes with, you know, Ochiko. Ochiko practically, you know, explains everything. I've given you the powers that were rightfully stolen from you. Your powers were stolen by a man named All For One. A very bad man, if you say. Of course, you are not powerful enough to take him on yet. Gather others to follow you. Create the full, you know, he kind of runs down, you know, the basic, you know, team. You know, each of these people, or, you know, each of these positions has, you know, importance to, you know, the plan. Same thing with, like, All For One, but the difference is that, you know, instead of, you know, kind of controlling people, kind of make world peace, instead of, you know, just outright changing people entirely. So, you know, Deku sees, you know, get it. Heroes make their own villains. Take out all the bad heroes, kill all villains, got you, kind of way. It's kind of be adopted by, you know, not really adopted, but kind of, you know, Dr. Ochiko kind of pulls, you know, a Lord Third and kind of, you know, okay, here's an apartment, here's some money, here's some cash, here's some ramen. Also, Deku, you know, Dr. Ochiko does blonde his hair, or, you know, kind of dye his hair, you know, orange. So just imagine Deku with orange hair, piercings, Rinnegan, and about all. Because I'm not changing Deku's face. Deku will look the exact same, just with all this accessories added on to him. So yeah. So, I see. Interesting. You know, of course, yeah, practically. Deku was like, I mean, yes, he does, you know, Dr. Ochiko does live with him time to time, but he's mostly, you know, out, so I mean, yeah. Kind of, that's why I said he pulled a Lord Third. He is there to, like, with the bills and whatnot, but he kind of not at the same time. Yeah, I see. You know, he goes to a different, you know, he does go to a different school now. Not just that, but he's kind of missing. You know, missing kid from orphanage. Only, you know, a missing body. Izuku Midoriya has gone. So, Deku would also change his name to, you know, either, you know, Nagato Uzumaki or just Pain. But I guess for, like, alias, I'll say Nagato Uzumaki. So, yeah. I mean, he does. I mean, the only way you're going to figure out that he's Izuku is that... Damn. Like, the only thing that you can actually realize is that the face is still the same, but... Yeah, actually, now that I don't think you'll be able to take, like, I don't think you'll be able to tell the difference between Deku and Pain at this point. The only difference is, like, face features. Even so, like, Deku has all these changes to his, you know, stuff, so yeah. I guess... I guess the only way you'll be able to say is by Deku's reactions to certain things. That will be the only thing that, depending on certain reactions, let's say that. Like, you know, All Might, you know, first they'll be, you know, it's All Might. And then, you know, second reaction be like, All Might. I see. So, yeah, kind of like, ooh, yay. And then, you know, oh, wait, I forgot. He got ego. So, yeah, and that's practically Deku. kind of like two opinions. One like a good one before the negative one. So yeah. Deku would go to a very minimal school, like a medium-sized school. At like the age of like what? He's like 6 now. Mrs. Dr. Ochiko, do I have to be at school? Yes, you need to be important. So you need to see what you can gain information upon the Hero Association. Not just that, but you need to see the personalities of others. To see not all people are evil, just certain ones. Not all, kind of like preventing him becoming, a full-on stain. So yeah, kind of, getting both sides of the story. Like, yes, there are bad heroes, but at the same time, not all of them are bad. And, he also does mention that, villains, not all villains are bad either. Like, a lot of villains are actually just broken. They need to be, treated. Who would he meet first? I'll say he meets like a couple people first. Is it like a water version of pain? I don't think there is. There is the Primo path. Okay. No, there's like no one print, so Mina would be pointless on being added. I mean, resemblances, yeah, but the best one I can say will either, I feel like the best options for the people for Deku to meet will be Shinzo, for reasons. Because, I mean, think about it, Shinzo, quirk, mind control. And what does, Dr. Ochiko have that he can give, Shinzo? Genjutsu. So, yeah. Kind of like the illusion version of pain, practically. Different portions of pain, as you will. Each version of Deku, have what ability. Genjutsu, everything like that. Also, Deku wouldn't be able to throw the rods of pain. The rods of pain will kind of just, I guess, stay unless, he injects, people with the, chakra rods. Then, they kind of, break off automatically. But besides that, he's not able to throw them, like, flipping, like, anywhere. So, yeah. And he doesn't really use it that much because, it takes a lot of chakra. So he kind of, just, as a last resort, if he has to play dirty, he will. And kind of use the chakra rod. So that kind of like a last resort. The Renegon, that would, Genjutsu also give, Deku able to do Genjutsus and, just certain things. Or, like, illusions, mostly. Deku, he wouldn't really do anything with his, Renegons, because, I mean, kind of useless. Since, they are kind of, like, nowhere near as strong as, the Naruto Renegons. Since, I'm not giving him, all the abilities of Pain. Since, Pain has, like, 1,000 jutsus or, like, 55 jutsus in his arsenal. Which, chakra's not existent in this world, so yeah. Yeah, practically. So he'll meet Shinzo. Besides Shinzo, he would also meet. Who would be good for Akatsuki? Mirio? No. I mean, Mirio can be like the Obito. So, I mean, So, actually, hold up. Maybe. Mina may have some importance to the Akatsuki. Maybe. But she's less than an animal for the animal path than anything else. So, I'll say instead of Mina, trade her out for Froppy. So, I'll say Deku would meet Shinzo and Froppy. And maybe, healing path. I feel like Eri would take the healing path. Yeah, I'm gonna save that for Eri because Eri kind of has Uno reverse card. And if, eventually, we all know this, but, if Eri does train enough, I'm pretty sure, like, Overhaul, she can bring back people from the dead. So, I mean, just saying, kind of true. So, I'm going to say that reasonings in the future, the world is going to hate the Akatsuki just due to the mouse of just the power is like a no-no. Also, Deku is a vigilante. He does, have the entire thing. I'll say the headband. Would he have the headband? Yeah, because I'm not going to make... instead of 6 paths of pain, I'll just give him, like, 5. I'll say he's, like, the 5th one. Or, like, technically the 1st, but I mean, it looks a lot more cooler as the 5th, so I'll give him 5th. So, yeah. Deku, like, the 5th one, so, yeah. He's, like, 5th. To kind of... reasons, so, yeah. Yeah, I see. As he sees people, bullying Asui. As eventually he, if you want to know, yes, Deku doesn't have his old quirk, but our artificial quirk, technically same thing, but, unable to be taken away. Deku would be able to do air bullet. Because, his body's built, the quirk given to Deku is practically, heavenly pull. Yeah. Inko's quirk mixed in with, air, heavenly pull, so yeah. He still has, technically a thing, but is, his quirk was only air bullet and nothing else. So, with this artificial quirk, which is like a copy of his quirk, but like a very overpowered version of his quirk. So, yeah. Also, if you want to know what his natural chakra infinity is, I already said it, air. So, air Russian Shuriken, if you're wondering. So, yeah, that's going to be saved for, like, a very, very, like, just... If he needs to, he'll be like, yo, Russian Shuriken, like, flipping, like... Just like Esconor, like, who decided that? Yeet, Russian Shuriken. Doosh, just obliterate you on spot. I'll say he's like the air. That's his infinity for this pain. So he'd be air. Making my own versions of pain. So he'd be air. I'll say Asui will be the animal path. And will... I'll say for reasoning, she'll have the infinity for water. How she does this is that she can kind of... Her lungs are big, so she can kind of, like, drink water. Or to kind of form water from the atmosphere into kind of like a mist almost. And kind of, turn that mist into water, into her lungs. And then kind of, like Squirtle. Squirtle, just kind of like, water blast. So, yeah. So, yeah, her infinity's water. Kind of makes sense. So, yeah. Especially since she's technically... wait, are frogs technically fish? Hold up. I mean, they go in the water. I guess. I don't know about that, but she go in water. That's all that matters. Anyways, yeah. Shinzo, I say Shinzo doesn't have a natural affinity, but I'll say, he gets the genjutsu. He's able to do, the No, I'll say he just, he kind of controls people and, has genjutsu. Yes, even though it is stronger than Deku's genjutsu, for reasons, though the genjutsu, even if Shinzo were to control Deku, it wouldn't work. Why? You can't control someone who's already broken inside or, kind of, dead inside. So, yeah, doesn't really work. Yeah. Especially since you technically have a sentient person in the back of your mind. Like, I didn't say this before, but, it is, reasonings due to, Ochiko technically having, like, a a very weak version of All For One. It's like a copy, but, it only holds 3 quirks. So, it still has the, effects of All for One. So, I mean, or technically a different version, but I mean, he's still able to, kind of communicate Deku to Deku, using, kind of like a synchro thing. He can talk, telepathically. So, yeah. I'll say, like, when, Ochiko gives someone a quirk, he can also kind of, as long as that quirk is in them, he can kind of talk to them. So, yeah. Not control them like, All for One can, but just talk to them. So, yeah. Oh, Chico, I think I found two. These two sound interesting. I can see a mutation with her lungs. And with water. Him I can see with illusions. Maybe... His voice can be useful, but if he can talk, and if you see him... If you're deaf, you may not hear him, but if you give him the eyes that I have, he can do the same thing I can, but stronger. So if the only way you can avoid him is if you're blind and deaf. That'd be the only way you can negate his abilities. As you know, all these things they are given are technically still, artificial. So, they can't be shut off. Young, good eye. Good eye, Izuku. Good eye. As you know, he slowly tries to kind of, vibe into, Shinzo. And then, because, I guess Shinzo would be, I guess Shinzo wouldn't be as hard-headed as, he's, as his teen counterpart just yet. So, yeah. Kind of like, hey. Actually, no, first one would be Froppy, because I did say Froppy was being bullied, so yeah. Bullying first, Shinzo later, so yeah. This man was like, hey, yo, 8 trigrams, 8 poles, because, technically he's still wind, so, yeah. Yeah, it's technically still wind, so yeah. It's only body movement to, like, a very fast-paced. So, yeah, he got, 8 trigrams. He got that, because, speed and, air, kind of his thing, so yeah. Yeah. He's able to do that, I'm gonna say. Kind of, he has, Asu, behind him, kind of does, just kind of, I'll say that kind of, I'll say that's able to kind of, make their quirks useless. Instead of, making, blocking your chakra points, I'll say it's able to negate your quirk. Kind of shut off your quirk, almost. For a limited amount of time. Of course, until you kind of, undo what he did. So, after going to the doctors, because, you can't do it forcefully unless, you can't activate your quirk forcefully unless, you want to kind of... yes, it might work, but, if it's Pain or Deku, you're gonna die. Don't try to do it. You're gonna die if you try to force activate your quirk. So, yeah. As you know, they talk, and, someone walks into the yard.